Why, hello, how's it going everyone? It is I, Epic45. Today we're back with another episode on What If Naruto Was in fact a Prodigy. Now the last episode ended with the death of Zabuza and Haku. Very sad, I know. Now let's continue right after that. What was it after that? I think it was the tuning exam arc that comes through right after this. So let's get into the tuning exams. Now, the early part of the tuning exam is probably going to be the same except for Naruto's bouts, which he's going to win. The written exam, it's going to be simple enough. Naruto is smarter than he was in the original, so he does manage to get a decent few answers down himself. And he manages to, steal a few answers here and there with the help of shadow clones transformed as pens or kunais or shit like that. Who knows? I really need to just cut down on my cursing. What's next with the tuning exam arc? I think it's the Forest of Death arc. Yeah, it is the Forest of Death. At least that's what I call it. Now we move on to the free-for-all tournament with the whole scrolls and stuff. Again, Team 7 is probably going to split up early on, but this time they have a plan. Sasuke and Naruto have coordinated the idea where Naruto basically creates a bunch of shadow clones, tags a ton of people with his shadow clones transformed as like little fucking paper pieces. I'm sure we could do that. I'm pretty sure we could, yeah. So, his shadow clones are transformed as little paper stickers that he manages to tag onto people before the games even start. And as they go on, they find out that they have the Earth Scroll. I think there was a Heaven and the Earth Scroll. I don't remember. It's been a while since I've seen that now. So his shadow clones basically wait until they find out if they have the Heaven or if they have the Earth Scroll. Did I give them the Earth Scroll? Naruto's crew has the Heaven Scroll in case I gave them the Earth. They have the Heaven, they need the Earth. Piss. What was it? Right, and if the intended target has the scroll that they require, well, the Shadow Clone's gonna basically pop, give them the information, the original Naruto body the information, and all the other Shadow Clones are going to congregate in that one area, beat the team up, get the scroll, go to the final area. Now, as this goes on, I think the sound is gonna start their attack, the tuning, the getting from the sound. Trying to capture Sasuke, yeah, I believe. Now, as I don't actually no, they're probably going to meet up at the spot, and the sound are probably going to be trailing them for. Now, the initiation of the attack, before the attack happens, essentially, they are going to meet Kabuto in this as well. However, since they've already gotten the scroll, Kabuto's offer is going to be less enticing, and they're basically going to part ways immediately. After which point, the Sound Ninjas start their attack on Team 7 to try and capture Sasuke. The initial phase goes as it did with the whole Genjutsu from Oboro, I think. Which, in this case, Naruto and Sasuke can dispel it relatively easily, and so can Sakura, if I'm not wrong. She was decent at Genjutsu, not amazing, but decent. So the three of them would probably... Actually, scratch that. I doubt Sakura would be able to do that. Naruto, I'm giving him the anime protagonist powers in this case, so he does manage to break through, and with his help so does Sasuke, and both of them do manage to fight Oboro off. Now, during this battle, Sasuke is a bit injured, so Naruto, he, basically creates shadow clones to try and scour off the area until they've healed, so they can actually finish the whole Forest of Death thing by reaching the end of it. Now, Sakura basically keeps Sasuke company while Naruto is out there, setting up traps with Sasuke's advice, because he was early on the ninja wire guy, so he would definitely know how to set up a few things. So now Naruto sets up a few traps around the area that they were at. Now, after setting up some of these traps, as Naruto is returning, Orochimaru's gigantic snake attacks him and swallows him, so to say. While back at base, we've got Sasuke being attacked by the Sound Ninjas. Murder him, kind of the orders that I think they received from Orochimaru. Now, as they get in, Sakura's unfortunately not that useful. She does get taken out by Kin, as it was in the original, with her, Kin holding her hair, as Sakura had this kunai in her hand, Kin's legs, arms, face within arm's reach, and she goes to cut her hair off because powerful female character, I guess, I don't know. So she cuts her hair off, she gets a nice little haircut, doesn't do much after that, she gets knocked out, I say. Yeah, I think knocking her out is probably the safest bet for everyone here. Sasuke, on the other hand, is fighting Dosu and Zaku, both of them at the same time. Dosu's initial abilities with the whole sound wave coming out of his gauntlets stun Sasuke, while Zaku's air blast that come through his hands. What the fuck's happening to my pronunciation nowadays? While the air blast that comes through Zaku's hands basically injure Sasuke a bit more. Now Sasuke at this point is just holding off until Naruto gets back, because in this fictional world we've created from the fictional world we already enjoyed, Sasuke and Naruto are relatively good to each other, I suppose. Yeah, both of them see each other as equals, more or less. So it's not that bad. Naruto, as he was swallowed by the giant snake, basically creates a few thousands is too much. A few hundred shadow clones, which would probably be enough to break out of the snake's stomach, full Drax style, as they just rip out of his. Let's not get too graphic. Now Naruto immediately goes back to campsite because he feels something's probably wrong as a giant snake tries to eat B. So he goes back to the campsite where again Sasuke is under attack, and Naruto, he jumps into the battle immediately. Now, initially Naruto is also going to have the same issues that Sasuke had with Dosu and Zaku both fighting him together, but Sasuke, he backs him up after a few moments, after getting the time to recuperate, I suppose. So, Sasuke and Naruto together do eventually manage to piece together that Dosu's arm gauntlet thingies are his thingy. Break that and we're good. Oh shit, no, there's Kin as well. She jumps in with her Senbone attack, but unfortunately after fighting Haku, who was probably the best Senbone user in the series. I don't know if anyone can actually top Haku, because Senbone isn't used that much. Anyway, after fighting Haku, they know how to deal with Senbone, so not that effective, unfortunately, against them. She gets beat up, is what I'm trying to say, as her Senbone is launched. They're slower than Haku's was, so it's relatively easy to basically swat them aside and beat her up. Yay, violence on women! Haha! It's an anime. Self-defense, I swear. After this, I suppose they would probably go after Dosu because his abilities are more of a pain in the ass than Zaku's, and he is the more calculated leader of the group, so taking out the head and the rest follow along, I suppose. So Dosu's arm gauntlet thingies, they're probably going to be relatively easy to defeat after they realize that that's what we need to target. So Sasuke uses a Phoenix Fire, or just a Fireball Jutsu, I suppose. I don't think he's skilled enough with the Phoenix Fire right now. So Sasuke uses a Fireball Jutsu to basically distract Dosu from his current position. As Dosu jumps out of the way from the fireball, 3 shadow clones from Naruto basically pop out of leaves falling from the trees, transformed obviously. Now these 3 basically capture Dosu, one for each arm and one for the legs, and Naruto's real body just goes in, knocks him out, breaks the gauntlets. That's good enough. Now Zaku at this point, he is an overconfident bastard, as I'd like to call him, so he still thinks he can take on both of these guys who beat both of his teammates, who were probably on equal footing with him. So he goes headlong into the attack, but Naruto and Sasuke basically get rid of him relatively easily. I don't know why my voice is so different right now. It's quite confusing, to be honest. Now, what's happening to my accent today? Now, during this fight, there's a lot of commotion that's basically stirred up, and Shikamaru's team eventually get to the point where the fighting's going on, because there's a lot of commotion coming from this one area. Now, Shikamaru knows Naruto's chakra by this point, so, he's basically like, what the fuck's going on with Naruto? He goes over there, he sees the aftermath. Sasuke does not have the curse mark, by the way. Didn't get that. He sees the aftermath of the battle, and, he's like, "You okay, Naruto?" Naruto says he's fine. Oh, that's enough of that. So, oh, right. Unless, let's say that Shikamaru's teammate didn't have their scroll yet, and, they just take the scroll from Dosu's team with them, so both of them, the Team 7 and Team 8, can actually cross the border at the same time. Now, as this battle was going on, Gaara was in the sidelines just watching sneakily, as sneaky Gaara boy do, and he's like, "Oh, you're going to be interesting to fight, aren't you, Naruto Uzumaki?" That's going to be a setup for the future, I suppose. The Chunin tournament arc, do we go for that? You know what? It's barely 10 minutes, so let's go for tuning tournament arc. Of course, they inform what the fuck happened in the battlefield. Now, Dumbledore, I don't know why I was going for Dumbledore. The third Hokage, not Dumbledore, a different series altogether, is obviously a bit suspicious because this new village comes through and their people try to kill our people. Something's going on, so he sends a few Anbu members in the forest to actually capture these three cretins and keep them for interrogation, basically. As that is happening, you know, Naruto explains to, what was her name? Anko, about the gigantic snake that tried to eat him. Sorry, the gigantic snake that tried to eat him. And Anko is a bit suspicious because she's like, snakes. I know one snaky bastard. Is he here? So she basically goes into the forest with the Anbu to try and see if Orochimaru was around. So I think we're deciding that Orochimaru did not jump into this battle, because he saw Team 7 defeat the Sound too easily and figured right now it's probably not worth it. I'll wait for you later, Sasuke Uchiha. Basically situations like that. He's probably going to tag him during the invasion of the Sand. I think that's what Orochimaru's plan would be in this case. Yeah, let's go with that. It's not that I forgot, it's that Orochimaru has a different plan. Now, during the tournament arc, credits to Gigok, I guess. I guess we do that nowadays. Anyway, during the tournament arc, the fights go as they would. Naruto vs Kiba, very different. Naruto beats Kiba up, simply. Far better a combatant than he was in the original. Kiba doesn't stand a chance. Naruto vs Neji, that's going to be an interesting fight because the whole fight, you know, Naruto's eventually going to go through changing Neji's viewpoint on life. Oh, maybe bloodlines do not decide that you're shit, son of the fourth Hokage and an Uzumaki. Maybe bloodlines do not matter. Maybe we are strong because we make ourselves strong. Person who was destined to be strong because of Space Bunny Goddess and Space Jesus, I think. Yes, it's all about willpower. That's what this series is based on. Person who eventually goes to the moon to beat up a person from the moon. Because waifu wars, I think. Let's continue. So Neji gets beat up eventually. The whole 64 palm rotation thing does damage Naruto quite a bit. I'm not going to go through the battle because it goes relatively close to the original, except Naruto's a tad bit more competent, quite a bit more competent, and he eventually beats him by, I think the headhunter jutsu would probably work on Neji because he can't see underground. So, you know, Naruto would probably fake being knocked out as Neji gets closer, and in his whole feel about, I am Neji Hyuga something. I can't remember anymore. It's been way too long since I've seen the series, and I really should have caught up on that. Anyway, Neji, you know, basically as he's going on his whole monologue about being better than Naruto, Naruto comes up from underground, grabs him by the leg. As that stuns Neji for a moment, the Naruto's body that was basically in front of him poops into smoke, and the real Naruto showers Neji with blows from above, knocking him out and claiming victory in the name of the Spade Kingdom. I don't know why that came out of my mouth. And that's where we're going to leave it, as the Sound invade. Lovely stuff, isn't it? I'll see you guys now in the next video. Blah blah blah. Like, subscribe, share. I love you. Mwah.